In China's financial hub, Shanghai, officials say public transport will only resume basic operations when the pandemic situation is completely stable, and not this weekend, as previously announced. Authorities acknowledge that there may be a gap between public expectations and reality, and requested residents to be patient with the recovery process. CNA's Lo Min tells us more.
All right now you can see this is Lai Avenue Mall, so the mall is still closed. Right now, as you can see, all the shops basically are closed except those who are doing takeaway.
Some shopping centres, restaurants and businesses were gradually allowed to reopen from this Monday, but residents who managed to leave their homes say most shops are not welcoming patrons yet.
The mall, we see them cleaning and washing, but no sign of opening yet. It's interesting because just right across, adjacent to our block, they are also the same, but they are not allowed to go out. So we have been cycling and walking around. Most of the district or most of the compound do not allow them to go out. I don't know why.
Although over 20 million people in Shanghai, or some 80% of the population, are classified as living in low-risk areas, many are not allowed to leave their compounds or move freely within the sub-districts.
They gave us a card split into 6 lots over 3 days for us to be able to go out and to go to the supermarket if we need to. At the back of the card, there are like area boundaries that you're supposed to keep to, which is kind of like just within the 街道. So it's just a one-time thing. Now we are locked back in. Our gate is, got a lock again.
Movement restrictions and guidelines vary across different sub-district levels, which makes the reopening process an uphill task.
In the past, there have been certain failures and excesses, mostly because local officials were too zealous in performing what the center wanted, and they'd overcorrect and do too much. But we see a tiny bit of that now, too, because, they're too vigilant about people getting positive cases and coming back, and they're looking above. They're focused on who's managing them, who's going to punish them, and they're not focusing below on the residents, the people they're supposed to care for.
Over 3,000 enterprises on the white list had been allowed to resume work under a closed loop. But companies on the list tell CNA that bureaucratic hurdles at the sub-district level makes it challenging for staff to return.
We have different sites, warehouses in different districts of Shanghai. Then we have to negotiate with the residential estates of the staff to release them. And then also not every estate will allow the staff to be back. We only have about 10% of the staff, or let's say 15% of the staff that fulfill the eligibility to be back.
I too am living in a building with no positive cases that's classified as a low-risk area, but still I'm not able to exit my housing compound, and there's no clear instructions from my neighborhood committee as to when I can do so. Lo Min, CNA, Shanghai.